Howdy folks, another cold day here in Vancouver. I don't know if you saw that I had posted a little short video earlier of the first snow in the mountains. Couldn't see it so well because of all the cloud cover, but there was snow. So I guess we're in for the cold weather now. Any which way, that's not what I'm talking about. Well, I've got the fireplace going, so at least it's a little warmer in here. That's not what we're going to talk about today. In today's video, we're going to talk about a couple of things. Number one, we're going to talk about our PR application, where we are and what we're doing there. We're going to talk about our the fuel shortage that we have at the moment. And I'll see if we touch on anything else. Oh, the honor system. Let's actually start with that. So, I don't know, yesterday or sometime during the day yesterday, the Minister of Transport or some minister here in BC came out, or government official, and said, hey, everybody should not take more than 30 litres of fuel at the petrol station. I don't know, I must be honest, I don't know what it's all about. I assume that with the floods that were out there and the railways cut off and everything, that the fuel supply is disrupted and that they're worried that the fuel supply is going to run out. So here's the funny thing. They come out and they say, hey guys, from as of right now, everybody's only allowed to take 30 litres of fuel at the petrol station. You can only get 30 litres of fuel. And how do they police it? Oh, it's an honor system. The guy's like, oh, no, I trust that nobody will take more than 30 litres of fuel. I must be honest, I don't know how that's working out. I know in South Africa that would have been a bit rough. I don't know how many people would have stuck to that honor system. You'd probably have some guys buying and selling fuel at a markup. But any which way, the one effect that it did have is because it immediately scared the crap out of everybody that the fuel's going to run out. So everybody rushed to the petrol stations immediately. There were queues, even here up at us. The whole off-ramp was blocked and the roads were blocked, like people were trying to turn into the petrol station to go and grab their 30 litres of fuel. And yeah, there's no policing, it's just every pump has a little thing that says 30 litres of fuel. I mean, I even stopped there and I put in my 30 litres of fuel because I was empty. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get the kids to school? Any which way, so we are under a fuel embargo in BC at the moment. Not allowed to use too much fuel, try and stay home. Hey, that's why you need a Tesla, isn't it? Anyway, or an electric vehicle. Any which way, so that's what's going on. The honor system, they trusted the Canadians, and I do believe that most Canadians will stick to it. I mean, I kind of feel like it works over here, but that is it. I don't know for how long this is going to last, but we'll see. Amazing to think that there's such far-reaching consequences. A big storm over there cuts all the railway lines and the roads and everything, and now there's no fuel. I mean, how quickly do things change? Nuts. Any which way, that's the fuel shortage in the honor system, which makes me happy to live in Canada. The fact that people actually stick to it. Well, I hope they do. I think they do. I believe most people do. I did. And then, of course, let's talk about our PR. So, for those of you that don't know, we are here on a work permit which expires November next year. We could obviously renew the work permit, but I mean, we are here because we want to live here forever. This is our new forever home. We love it here. We enjoy Canada. We enjoy the Canadians. We enjoy Vancouver, even with the cold weather. But we need to get a permanent residency. Because, you know, there's a couple of things. If you're on a work permit, you're fine, you can stay here. But there's a few things. Angelique's got an issue lately that's becoming a big problem for her, is the fact that she's not allowed to work. Because we are on work permits, it means our kids are on study permits. And because they're on study permits, they're not allowed to work. Now, here in Canada, kids can work, I think from 13 or 14, they can get jobs. Actually, they are encouraged to do that because they need to learn how to become part of society. And Angelique's not allowed to. So now all her friends are finding jobs care, doing elderly care or waitressing and things like that, and she can't find a job, and she's a teenage girl, she loves spending, it's all clothes and blah blah blah, all kinds of stuff, and apparently the money we give her is just not enough. So yeah, that's one of the problems of being here on a work permit and them being on a study permit. So we have started our PR application. For those of you that don't know what it means permanent residency application. Remember, we were waiting for Belinda to get a job so that we can apply for our permanent residency under her name. Now she's got a job, the company's really nice, we are all good to go. We actually submitted our documentation or opened up our profile in this week. And just to take a step back, so to get into Canada, there's a couple of ways that you can do it. Well, not a couple, there's actually a lot of ways. Now, one of the most common ways is the express entry. That's for younger people that's got qualifications. You can apply through the express entry system and you can come in. Now, even with Belinda's job, we still don't qualify for the express entry. I think we're like 2 points short. They've got this point system. There was a video about it earlier. But we're still like 2 points short, literally 2 points. So we can't go in through that. But because we are here in BC already, and because Belinda has a job already on an open work permit, what we can do is we can apply through not the express entry, but the skills entry through the provincial nominee program, so the BCPNP program. And what they do there is every 2 weeks they have a draw. Now, let me explain it. So you've got the federal government that handles all the immigration, that approves or disapproves, and the federal skilled worker program and the federal express entry program, all of those are sitting there, they manage it. But then each province has got their own systems that they can do, but they can't give you a visa or a permanent residency as a province. What they can do is they can nominate you to the federal government and say, hey, we like this person, we want him or her to go into the system there and to qualify. And they do that through a point system. So we don't have enough points to go into the express entry system, but we've got enough points to get into the skilled worker system. But even there, Belinda's points, because we're a little bit older, Belinda's points is kind of just on the verge. We probably wouldn't get picked. So the way for us to get picked is if the BC government says, hey, we want this person to get picked. And that's what we've done now. We applied for the BC provincial nominee program. Now they have a draw every 2 weeks. How it works is you submit your document. You don't submit your documentation. You fill out a form. You say how long have you been working, where are you working, what's your skill level, your knock code, your occupational code, your English or French marks, so you fill out all your stuff, your qualifications and everything. And then they have a draw, and the number of points you have, they say, okay, we take the 50 people with the most points or the 100 people with the most points, and we nominate them. So we are actually looking really, really good, because the last draws, they've taken everybody up to like 90 points, or 92 or 93 was the highest. They took everybody above 93 for the last draw. The draws before it was only at 90. So we filled out our thing, and Belinda is sitting on 106 points. So hold thumbs, Tuesday this week we will be drawn for the BCPNP program. If that happens, when that happens on Tuesday, they're going to send us an email and say, hey, you guys have been selected for the BCPNP program. Now you've got to submit the documentation, because we just filled out all the Belinda just filled out all her qualifications. Now she needs to submit the documentation to prove it. You've got a month to prove it, but we've got it already. So she will submit that documentation, and I don't foresee any problems, but it's going to be it's essential. Once you're in the system, it works. But then within a month or so, they will then approve us. When they receive the documentation, they will approve us for the BCPNP. And once we're approved for the BCPNP, it gives us an extra 600 points. Now with that 600 points, we then qualify for the federal system. Then we can go into the pool for the federal system. Now generally the system is designed in such a way that, I think right now we have like 200 and something points for the federal system, and they draw everybody from 400 points upwards when they have a draw, which is just every now and again they randomly decide when they're going to have a draw. So having the 600 points from the BCPNP program obviously puts us right over the top, gives us a good score. So touch wood, the next time they do a federal draw, then we will be in the top bunch and we will get drawn, or Belinda will get drawn for the federal draw. If that works out, once you're drawn for the federal draw, you have a year to submit all your paperwork to the federal government, and then they go through it and they give you your PR if everything checks out. Obviously, we're not going to take a year to submit. We're going to submit it as quick as possible. And with a little bit of luck, they say sometimes it can take 9 months, sometimes it can take 12 months. But with a little bit of luck, by next time this year, we are officially permanent residents of Canada. And then Angelique can go find a job and earn some money. I think she's way excited about trying to find a job. I'm wondering how it's going to go when she actually has to stand on her feet for 6 to 8 hours serving people or cleaning tables. That might not be that much fun then anymore. But any which way, so yeah, that's it. That's how it works. We are in the system officially. By Tuesday we will have our first result. By Tuesday we will know if we've been picked for the BCPNP program, which I'm 100% convinced we will. I mean, sure, we've got 106 points. The draws are normally, the highest one lately was the 93. So we're going to swing through that one. We're going to submit our documents, get that in, and get that nomination, go federal, and get it all done. So there we go. That's the plan. And then once we've got our PNP, or then we can also, once we've got our PR, our permanent residency, then we can also start looking at maybe purchasing property or buying a house, because then you don't have that extra fine that you have to pay. Any which way, long video, but things are moving along swiftly. It's all looking good. I'm a little fluish today, but I spend my time sitting close to the fire warming up. You all must have a nice day. Cheers.